I did it. I finished a half marathon. I'm going to talk to you all about it today. But before I get into the race, I think it's worthwhile taking a very brief trip down memory lane. It's, going up and down stairs, going in and out of cars, even just walking. And because I know it's going to be exhausting, I don't like walking to the park, even though the walk would be helpful, and I get that it's all connected. But I know that my legs are going to rub, and I know I'm going to be out of breath, and I know that I'm going to ache, and that my feet are going to hurt, and it just... So that was me 5 years ago, and 100% guaranteed. If anybody had told me at that time that one day I would complete a half marathon, there is absolutely no way that I would have ever believed that. Honestly, 10K would never have even crossed my mind as something to even dream about. I think the idea for signing up for this race was initially born just out of curiosity. I just wanted to know if it was possible. If I dedicated myself to a 5-month training plan, could I actually achieve this? And I figured that my body probably could, but I really doubted my mind. I really doubted whether I would stick with it. But the further I got into it, the easier it became to stick with it. And it now truly is at the point where I get antsy if I don't run for a certain number of days. Anyways, backing it up again to the time when I signed up for the race, I decided that I needed to write out my why. And I'm going to read that to you. So I just wrote, why? Imagine how fucking proud of yourself you'll be. 21.1 kilometers. That's insane. Me. The me that finishes a half marathon, who shows up and does the work for that, that's a completely different person to the me before. She wouldn't have spent 1 millisecond considering a half marathon. Hell, today me isn't even sure it's possible. I truly don't know. But finding out will be life-altering. Why? Honestly, it isn't about health, at least not primarily. I just want to make myself proud. I'm doing it for the version of me who thought so little of herself that she never tried, never even dreamed it possible. I want to show her that even the craziest goals can be achieved. Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm a healthy mix of nervous and excited, because I've never done this distance, but I've done 19, and I really feel like anything after 15, it's all the same.
It's only an extra 2 kilometers above your personal best.
Right, it just hurts just for a little bit longer. So I can't believe that it's here. That's, on the one hand, it's been 5 months, but it feels like it's gone by really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
And you've been training for 5 full months?
I have been. I started in January. It's now June. And I've done most of my training runs. I have skipped a few, and I've had a couple injuries and illness along the way, but that right there, even if it all goes to hell today, I stuck with it. And I wasn't entirely convinced that I could or would.
Good for you.
I'm proud of that. Even if I shit the bed today, I'm proud of that.
Well, I hope you know that we're all very, very proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. I do, on a rainy, cold Sunday morning. Yay. But it replicates all of my training conditions.
Yeah,
so
we've been training in the snow, in the rain.
Ice, everything. This is a walk in the park. I can do this.
Yeah. And what happens if you get halfway through and you just don't think you can finish? You just gonna walk the rest? Or are you gonna give up?
No, it's going to take a serious injury for me to give up.
Very good. Good for you.
Because again, I've done 19. What's another 2? 0.1. The 0.1 kills me. The 0.1 is just oh. But yeah, if I have to walk it, I walk it. But I can cover the distance.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet you at the finish line.
I can't wait to meet you guys at the finish line. I'm excited. Just over 5K in. It's about a quarter of the way done. Overall, feeling pretty good. I ran the first 5K. I'm on my first walking break, just took a snack, had some water. Now it's time to kick it up again. Halfway through, 10.55. Feeling still pretty good. Okay, 5K left to go. Train's starting to come off the tracks a little. Hips are sore, feet are sore. Don't really feel as energetic as I did, but only 5K left. Last turnaround, less than 4K to go. Holy shit. I did it. Done.
With the running room.
No idea what my time was. My watch was totally off from the actual mile markers, so we'll see. I don't care. I finished it. I've got a smile on my face. And I can't believe it. I can't believe I did that.
So you're all done.
I am done.
And how did it go?
Honestly, it went a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to. Until like kilometer 16, and then it kind of fell off the rails a little bit. My hips were getting really sore, but I can't believe I did that.
You did it.
And I got my goal time.
You got 2:44.34, I think is what it was.
Which like the last 5K, I'm like, is it possible? Is it not possible? Is it possible? Is it not? And I did it. And I never limit yourself, both of you. Never limit yourselves. Tell yourself you can do it and work for it. You can get it, whatever it is. You too. All right, so let's break this race down really quickly. I'll put my splits up here just in case you're curious about them. Overall, I am very happy with my time. So kilometers 1 to 5. In that first kilometer, of course, there is a big bunch. So they did the start in 3 different waves. I was in the 3rd wave, but it's still a large group of people. So I just sort of reminded myself to just run my own race and not try to keep up with the pack. And very quickly it all thinned out and I found my own space. I ran consistently for the first 5K, stopped at the aid station at about the 5K mark, ate 2 of the Cliff Energy blocks, had some water, but just kind of breezed on through it and then picked up my run again for, I would say, probably the next 5 kilometers as well. So kilometers 6 to 10, those were the hilly bits. Everything was feeling good at that time and I was just sort of relying on the water stations as my next goal. There was still so much race to go that I couldn't think about how much was left. So I just kept focusing on, in 2.5 kilometers, I'm gonna hit another water station. So it really did help to break the race up. Kilometer 16 is where things started to sort of fall off the rails. My hips were starting to get really tight. I was just starting to feel physically tired. Things were starting to ache and it was starting to be definitely an effort. I kept reminding myself there's only 5K left, but that still feels like a very long time. So once I got to the final turnaround, which is at about kilometer 18, I knew that there really wasn't that much left. And I really at that point was playing the math game. So I was looking at my watch and trying to figure out, can I actually get the 2:45? Should I kick it up? Can I just where am I at? And I realized that it was possible, but I was gonna have to work for it. And so I did. And I did take some walking breaks again at 19 and 20, but at 18 and 19, once I hit 20, I basically just cruised on into the finish. I will say I was just a tiny bit disappointed. I was all alone coming into the finish. They had been announcing finishers because I had to run past the finish and then loop back to get to it, so I could see people coming in and crossing and hear the announcement and just the congratulations, calling them out by name, all of that. He must have been on a break when I came down the finish line chute because there was zero fanfare. There was, of course, my family there, so my husband and my kids with the signs that they had made, which gave me that last little boost that I really needed to get to the finish. Honestly, having to run by it and then loop back, that's just mean, it really is. But there was no announcement, nobody said my name, like it felt just a little bit empty if I'm allowed to complain. It was just a little bit sad, nothing major, but just, it would have been nice. But they handed me my medal and I looked at my Garmin and I had known all along because I could tell by the kilometer markers and then when my watch would announce the kilometer that the course was a little bit short. So I just kept running, kind of like grabbed my medal and just continued on, except the path that I chose was heading straight towards the porta potties. So I'm pretty sure there were a lot of very alarmed people thinking that I had a very dire situation on my hands. Really, it was about making sure that Garmin locked it in as a half marathon, because if it was only 20.9 something, I would have been furious. So at any rate, I got it done and I really did not feel as bad as I thought I was going to. I mean, things hurt, of course, but it really wasn't awful. And I was basically, well, by Tuesday, we went to an amusement park with our kids and I walked around for hours and had no issues. So I'm just amazed by how quickly my body can bounce back. So that is a wrap on my first half marathon. First, but very likely not last. I wasn't sure that I would be interested in doing another half marathon before this race, but having done it, now I kind of want to see what kind of improvement I can do on my time. So with all of that said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for all of the continued support and for just being in my corner, putting up with my tears and cheering me on. This would have been so lonely without you guys. And even though I don't vlog every second of every run because nobody wants to see that, I think about you guys on my run, like I really do. It sounds cheesy and corny, but knowing that you guys are supporting me and in my corner and cheering me on, it really has made this just one of the best experiences that I've had. So thank you for that. So I will be back with more videos. I need to take some time to really consider what challenge I want to take on next. But what I think it's going to be is trying to get a sub 1 hour, 10 minute 10K. I think that would be a good challenge. So we'll see. If you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments. But otherwise, thank you again.